Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still such trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening and welcome once more to the LSRL GT3 live from Circuit Zolder. I'm James Parfitt. I'm going to be here gunning you through all the action. Right, O'Connor, welcome in. Thanks so much for joining me. Normally I'm joined by Michael David, but unfortunately Michael could not make it. Last minute emergency. So you have got the sultry tones of me for the next hour or more here for this amazing race. We are at Circuit Zolder, 3.95 kilometers here at Belgium. And, well, with 10 turns on track, I think this is going to be a very interesting one. It's a shame Michael's not here, really, because we would have had a debate about whether or not this track is any good. Now, Michael likes this circuit and thinks Zolder's one of his nicest ones. Now, obviously, this is the other circuit on Belgium that, as we all know, there's Spa. There's also Zolder. So it is a mixture of whether or not you like it. Me, personally, I'm not a fan of this circuit. I've got to be honest, it's not my favourite circuit, but it does deliver great racing, and the reason for that is obviously the very tricky turns that it does have. Turn 1 and 2, coming through 1, you've got to make sure you don't drift the car wide. If you drift the car wide, you're going to be in a whole heap of trouble out in that wonderful gravel area on the outside. Now, if you drift it, if you can't get into 2 quick enough, you're going to struggle again. The run through the 3 and 4 should be fairly straightforward. Coming out of 4 again, there's a lovely, lovely patch of gravel out on the left-hand side, just waiting to catch you out. Through the Klein chicane of 5 and 6 is a little bit more interesting here this evening, but in the current championship, this is the state of affairs. Elliot Borg is winning and has won the championship. The reason I say that is because there is only 30 points on offer in the actual standings, plus say 2 for fastest lap, so that's 32. Finishing the race, they get 1, that's 33, 34, and there's only 34 points available. Now, that will take anyone, that will take Joseph Carnes. If he takes all of that, it will take him up to 176. Now, he's got to win all of them. Okay, so 36 points actually. No, 168. So even then, he's not going to be close enough. So Elliot Borg has wrapped up the championship. That is a done deal. No question about it. Elliot Borg is the season winner. Okay, so he just cannot be caught. And there's still one more round to go at the Nürburgring Combined. Now, not everybody loves that circuit either. So that's going to be an interesting one. Now, in the team championships, the situation is this. Smart Gonasborg Racing wrapped it up, done the double, won it all out. Elliot Borg has won the solos, and Smart Gonasborg have won the teams. Now, here is the wonderful Spa circuit. We've got 12 cars on track this evening here, ready to do battle once more before we go into the Nürburgring Combined. Now, if you haven't been on the Combined circuit, it does include the Nordschleife and also the stadium and the normal track section. Now that totals out at about 174 corners of action that's going to be delivered here tonight. Now after last week, Ryan O'Connor absolutely swept the ball at Sebring. He was so far ahead that he was just unstoppable. He did an absolutely stellar job in the car. He was 19 seconds ahead of Elliot Borg. Now, it does make you wonder what would have happened whether or not Ryan had tipped the Mercedes for the whole season. I think next year, though, could be back in the Mercedes. So it's going to be an interesting one to see how this all pans out here tonight. But for now, he is in the Merc. He's taken it for the last 2 rounds so far, and he's going to take it for the next 2. Hopefully, he will do well. Otherwise, I'm just going to about to eat my words about how good he is actually in this car. It is at point scary how quick he is in the Mercedes. Sebring was just unbelievable. He's literally fastest lap time 1:59.599 compared to Elliot Borg's 2 minutes 3:36. So he was literally nearly a second quicker per lap than our current champion. And I am going to say current champion because he is the champion. He cannot be caught currently, Elliot Borg. So we're going to see how he gets on. But I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's jump in with Mr. O'Connor before he carries on round the lap, of course. He's coming up through the chicane of 6 and 7. Then he'll go out round the double right-hander of 7 before he'll run down into turn 8, the right-hander. As he goes round turn 8, out onto the short, sharp straight, full throttle. Through the chicane he goes, and then comes down into turn 10. The left-right down here. He's got to get on the brakes, get the car stopped, get it in, point the nose over the first bit, point the nose over the second one, get on the gas, and away we go. The times are going to start coming in thick and fast on the left-hand side. Hope everybody is well. Give the video a big old thumbs up. That would be absolutely amazing. Elliot Borg is set to purples on the time as well. He's just gone across the timing tower, goes on a 1:28.575. Ryan O'Connor 1:28.86. So these guys, there's a couple of people off track there, and that's not going to go down too well currently at the moment. I think that was O'Connor off track, and also Brandon Murray. Sean Atkins was another one by the looks of it that went off track as well. So it's going to be full bore action here tonight. Don't forget, these guys have got a 45-minute race with a pit stop, okay? They're only going out on 50% fuel, so they will have to pit for this to get to the end of this race, without a shadow of a doubt. There is no option to them going all the way through. It's just not going to happen. It hasn't happened all season, and it's not going to happen today. They will have to pit, okay? So it's going to be one of them. Don't forget, guys, JPB are doing the Season 2 open. The open sign-ups will open tomorrow for the Clio Cup as well. So if you haven't watched the JPB Clio Cup, please get yourself involved. We're also running a GT4 series on a Wednesday. If you want to get yourself involved in that, join the JPB League Discord down below, and you can get yourself involved, okay? So you can come along, get yourself involved, join up with the GT4s or the Clios. And if you haven't watched any of the Clio season, well, you should do. It's been an absolute epic season so far, and with 2 rounds left to go, it's going to be even more epic. But these guys coming across the line, times are still coming in. O'Connor's out on a out lap at the moment. Pereira goes into 4th place. Dylan Gonaz there, sitting on 3rd currently. What has Dylan gone and done? 1:29.363, cements his place in 3rd. Elliot Borg out in front and running away with it currently at the moment. He's going up through the Klein chicane. This chicane can spit you out and chew you up, mind you, if you do that. You cannot bounce, take probably any more than what Elliot Borg has taken there, partly due to the fact that if you do, you're going to be in a whole heap of trouble. Now, me personally, as I say, not a lover, gotta be honest, but some people are, and some people love Zolder, and Michael David is one of them. He does love Zolder, and unfortunately he's not here this evening. But onwards and upwards we go, and we are just coming around. Dylan Gonaz has got a purple, James Repp's got a purple, Elliot Borg has also got a purple in sector 5, James Repp's got it in sector 1, Ryan O'Connor sector 2, sector 4 is Ben Barnes currently. So let's see here on board with Elliot Borg. This is going to just about come across the line. He's going to be sitting at another time. What is he going to do? 1:28.976. He was a little bit slower than last time out, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Let's keep a pick up on James Repp actually from the slowly driving Bayou team. Almost green in sector 3. Unfortunately, was not. No time on the board though, mind you. So. Anything at the moment has got to be green. He's hit the wall once already. There's a bit of shaving down the side of the car. 4th place. Stunning lap by James Repp there. Into 4th he goes. Couple of Elliot Borg back doing green. Brandon Murray, no time. He's done a 1:30.75. He's going green at the moment as well. So let's see how he gets on. 2 minutes 36 seconds remaining. Don't forget, guys, there is the Radical Sim Racing going on exactly the same time as this one over on still on the JPB YouTube channel as well. We hit 1,000 subscribers this week on Thursday, and we're now up to, I think it's 1,030. I think the thing is, once it goes above 1K, it won't change. It just says 1, you know what I mean? It doesn't say the number. I think the number would be cool, but it says 1.03K, so we're up to 1,030 subscribers since we've gone up 30 since Thursday, which is absolutely amazing. So we're keeping it above the 1K. That's the good thing. It's always breaking a number and then trying to stay above it, but we are managing to stay above it and exceed it, so that's always up on the good side. So thank you very much for all your love and support here. I know the guys back in the JPB office are absolutely ecstatic about the 1K. So incredible job from all of them as well, and obviously a big thanks to them for helping out the company. You know, something that started off as a little bit of fun and interest has now blossomed into a fully fledged company with people getting involved and helping out, with my wife doing social media and all the other guys that I've met along the way, of course, during this journey from 2018 when we first started officially. But it was last September we did our, I think, first broadcast on the JPB YouTube channel, and now we have hit the magical 1K before my estimated time, mind you, because my estimated time was about the end of June. So now, as I say to you, we was on 1,030. We've now just officially gone down to 1,029. So that's always typical. But there we go. What more could you ask for? Always at the right moment. But there we go. But we have increased, so that's all that matters, I think, at the end of the day. Congrats on the 1K. Thank you very much. Dylan Gonaz there, who was driving, is not driving anymore, but he's sitting in 3rd place at the moment. So yes, a big moment on Thursday, got to be honest. It was a very big moment. We sat on 999 for absolutely ages, what felt like ages, and everybody was like, we're nearly there, and then out of the blue we did, and that was absolutely incredible. So yeah, big moment for all of us, as I say, within JPB, who's done a lot of work over the last, well, since September, basically. So we're going to push on now, go forward. A lot of new things happening, a lot of improvements trying to come into it at the same time. So yeah, looking forward to how the future goes for this, for our, you know, the broadcast of the company itself and what it holds in place. But we've got a couple of new things starting up this week as well. The American Sim Racing League is starting. We're taking on them recently. We've picked up there, helping them out with their rounds. They're currently in round 7. So we'll be broadcasting the rest of the season for them. So hopefully that'll be an onwards and long relationship here, as we've had with so many great leagues so far. But here is the grid. Elliot Borg on pole, Ryan Connor second, Dylan Gonaz third, Joseph Carnes fourth, James Rep fifth, Daniel Brewer sixth, Sean Atkins seventh, Ben Barnes eighth, Troy Banks ninth, Thomas Boniadi 10th, Brandon Murray 11th, and Brandon Fornell at the end of the grid in 12th place. So there we go. Onwards and upwards, that's what I say. Onwards and upwards, and that's what we're going to be doing here within JPB as we go on our customary pace lap around Circuit Zolder. Thank you so much if you are here for joining me. Much love to you. And let's see how this race turns out. I'm just going to grab a quick drink while they're driving around in the pace car. Okay, we're back. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow we have got the JPB Clio Cup, and that's round 5 live from the Red Bull National Circuit. And then on Tuesday morning at 5 AM for us UK individuals, we have got Sunday Drive Racing from Assetto Corsa. That's taking place at Laguna Seca. And then we've got the UK Sim Races on Tuesday evening, around about 8 o'clock. That one will be starting. So you want to get yourself in early, and that, don't forget, 8 PM, obviously BST. These are all BST times, guys, because obviously, you know, we're UK, and that will be kicking off as well. Cannot wait for that one to kick in, because the UK Sim Races is always great, and that will be from Le Mans this week. And then we've got the BSC Round 15 playoff coming to you live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So another great week so far on the JPB YouTube channel. So don't forget to, if you haven't already, subscribe, turn on the bells, give the video a big old thumbs up. And if you want to drive in any of the leagues that we've got running at the moment, or any that we will be running shortly, you can also do that as well. So all links down in the description, so you can go and get yourself involved. This guy's just coming round turn 7. See how they get on. It's currently strength of field, 1.6k strength of field. Hopefully we will all get to the end. We won't have Indianapolis, where it was just, or Chicago Street Circuit, which got to be one of the worst tracks within iRacing. I think if there was a poll up, that track would be up there, because it is dreadful circuit, absolutely dreadful. Right, coming round now through turn 10. Pace car will pull off. Elliot Borg effectively becomes the pace car. He's going to be going already. Don't think he's going to back them up again. He's running them side by side. Lights are on. Over the line they go. Green flag, and we are racing here at Circuit Zolder, and it is Elliot Bourg got the jump out in front. Dylan Gonaz second. Ryan O'Connor is down in third with James Rett pressurising him. He's going to look up the in. Oh, there's got contact between James Rett and Ryan O'Connor, and unfortunately for O'Connor, goes all the way down to the back of the order. If you're ever going to set yourself a challenge, well, now you've got one, because you've just been tagged by James Rett there. And unfortunately for Ryan O'Connor, he's now down the back end of the field, sitting down in 10th places, 10th, -8 on his grid slot. And there is Brandon Thornhill in front of him. He's not giving up, mind you. He's still going to go, so we'll keep an eye on how he gets on. Brandon Murray, Troy Banks, and up front it is Elliot Bourg, out in front by 1.5 seconds. Dylan Gonaz behind that. He's got a 1.84 second gap over this man, James Rett, who did unfortunately hit Mr. O'Connor. So that's never good going into the entry of turn 2. But what we do get to watch is the Mercedes of the LMA Motorsports. Ryan O'Connor rustling his way back through the field as Troy Banks there moves over and allows it to come through. And also down Pereira. Ooh. Ben Barnes in front of him. Dan has already, by the looks of it, hit something. His steering is absolutely shot in that Ferrari. What did he get himself involved with? We can't see anything currently. I'll have a look back and see what he's been up to here. This was the one. There goes Ryan O'Connor. Oh, he got hit by O'Connor spinning. And then unfortunately into Ben Barnes did Dan Pereira. And it was Ben Barnes and Ryan O'Connor going off track together, because that was Pereira involved in that as well. Fortunately for him, but it is still Elliot Bourg out in front. James Rett has got Joseph Carnes tucked up behind him with Sean Atkins. Further back, currently in 5th place as they go round turn 7 down into 8 one more time. Let's see what happens here with Troy Banks. I know he comes in and says he doesn't want to get involved with a championship fight, right? Which I understand as a commentator. You don't want to come into a series late and you know hasn't done many races this season, but at the same time, if the guys in front are slowing you down, you surely want to be pushing and going on, right? It's still a racing driver. You're not just going to potter around at the back, are you? And I think Troy Banks does, you know, have the right to go for it if they're holding him up. Bourg's just across the line, 1:29.691, fastest lap of the race. We're on board with Brandon Murray. He's got Brandon Thornhill behind him. 2 Brandons. Brian O'Connor goes into the fastest lap on a 1:29 there. So we are going to start seeing O'Connor start moving his way back through the field. Sean Atkins, Joseph Carnes, James Rett is in the middle of the track. Unfortunately for Rett there. Went round Brandon Thornhill, Troy Banks, everybody's gone past James. James is sat down the back. But this is Thomas Boniani going side by side with Joseph Carnes up into turn 5. And Ryan O'Connor's gone through as well. So this is going to be, settle down, Thomas, settle down. I wonder if James Rett got tapped there, partly due to the fact that obviously just of where it was. And I've got a funny feeling it may have been Joseph Carnes giving him a little bit of a nudge. And by where he was sat, I'm probably going to guess that was down into turn 2. Can have another look now and see how he's handed up there. Was that all on his own? It was all on his own. Where was Joseph? Oh, and then hit by Joseph Carnes. So Carnes was involved, but not quite in the way that we thought it was going to be. And he tapped him. Oh, no. Thomas Boniani goes off. Joseph Carnes is in the pits. Thomas goes off. That allows Brandon Murray through. And Brandon Thornhill is behind Boniani now. Carnes is in the pits. Pereira's in the pits and back out again. Ben Barnes from the Slowly Driving Bayou and James Rep from the Slowly Driving Bayou team has had a dreadful start here. And Troy Banks up behind Brandon Thornhill, and guess where he's from? Slowly Driving Bayou as well, in his Lamborghini. But we are starting to see O'Connor slowly close up onto Atkins. The gap currently is 2 seconds, but he's starting to get on to the back. Don't forget there is pit stops involved as well. Troy moves over and allows James Rep through. I think personally he could have kept him in front of him. So, personally I think he could have kept him in front of him, but he just didn't. It's fine. And now he's got James Rep and Brandon Thornhill in front of them, both guys from the Slowly Driving Bayou team here this evening at Zolder. 40 minutes, just under 40 minutes remaining. Thank you so much for joining me if you are here. Just say, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bells, give the video a big old thumbs up. That'll be absolutely amazing. Any comments, drop it down in the comment section below and we will respond there. But like Troy Banks, he could be so much quicker as well, and I think that's the awful thing. I think he could be right up there beside Rep. Oh, Thornhill goes a little bit wider one. Banks is trying to come around the outside. Thornhill goes in a little bit deep into turn one, unfortunately causes himself a problem, but James Rep has gone through now. Ryan O'Connor to Sean Atkins down to 1.3. Ryan O'Connor back to Brandon Murray, 6.8. So Brandon Murray struggling there, but Sean Atkins, you are going to be under a pressure very soon in the worst pace scenario car from O'Connor. He's coming and he's coming quick. He's almost under a second. Is he going to get, the difference is in front now, is O'Connor's in a situation here, because he needs to clear Atkins as soon as possible, right? That's without a shadow of a doubt. So he can get on to the two guys at the top end of your picture there, Gomez and Borg, and he's got 4 seconds on each of them. 3.9 now for Atkins to Gomez. So if O'Connor can clear him, it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to get him. Dylan Gomez last time out did a 1:33.3. O'Connor did a 1:28.82. Fastest man currently on track. Not so much now, because obviously this lap was a 1:29.39. But he is faster than Atkins, and Atkins is giving it to him. O'Connor said, thank you very much. Atkins off tracking. Did he make it on without an incident? He did, but Sean Atkins there on lap 6 takes a little bit of a diver, running off track at turn 2. It's the thing, you can see where the danger's coming. Oh! Brandon Murray straight into the pits. Murray straight into the pits on the gravel, then into the grass. He's lost it. Oh, Brandon Murray coming out of, it looked like coming out of turn 7, and unfortunately he's jumped straight into the pits. So Brandon Murray not doing himself any favours here. And that's the way it ends up at this circuit. As I say, some people all love this circuit. Not a lover. But James Rep, Brandon Thornhill, Ben Barnes now running in line astern in the Slowly Driving Bayou team. Troy Banks just kind of sat there almost waiting for something to happen. As I say, I think Banks has got a lot of pace in that Lamborghini, and I think he can go a lot faster than the guys in front of him, but he just doesn't want to get involved with what's going on in the championship. And as I say, which is fair play, but none of these now, the championship's wide open. Elliot Borg's won the championship. He can't do nothing, he can't stop anything, he can't make a difference. I just love to see Banks go for it. Just do it. Just do it, as Shia LaBeouf says. Just do it. you know, and just go for it, because you're not affecting anything. Now, the championship's done and dusted. Elliot Borg is your winner. Smart Gonas Borg are your winners. So from that point of view, for Troy Banks, he might as well just go and have a fight, as we see Ben Barnes pass Brandon Thornhill. Ben in the number 7 car, Brandon in the 68. That's the only way you're going to be able to tell them apart with the liveries, because obviously they're in the same one. And I know how tricky that can be, trying to tell cars apart within the same livery. We have 34 minutes on clock. Pit stop times around about between about 20 minutes to go, depending on how much they pushed. I think a lot of the time will come into it. Obviously for O'Connor, I'm expecting him to come in a lot faster, because he did go round, and then he's pushing like an absolute trooper to try and get onto the back of Gonas. 1:29.32 best time, 1:30.05 last time, 1:30.11 for Gonas, and you can see him now. There he is, right in front of us, as he's coming into turn 5. It's going to be a tricky situation here. Boniati, James Rep has just passed Thomas Boniati, and there was a reason for that, and that reason is this. Boniati off tracking at the final chicane. Has lost a chunk of time. Sean Atkins looks like he's been taking off tracks as well. So Sean Atkins also been taking off tracks. And he is now still in 4th place. He didn't lose the positions or time, but maybe it's just a little bit of he might have lost a little bit of an ego and his confidence boost there. But Boniati is trying to catch back up with Rep, who's got Ben Barnes between them, Brandon Thornhill, Troy Banks, Joseph Carnes, Dan Pereira, Brandon Murray. Of course, Carnes was involved at the beginning. Pereira, another one, who also got tapped at that beginning as well. And then 2 guys have had to go into the pits. And predicting that they pitted on lap 3 and lap 1, they are going to have to go in again. They're not going to get to the end of the 40 laps with 40 minutes with the fuel they've got. So they're going to have to go in again. It's without a shadow of a doubt that they're going to have to go in again. But unfortunately for them, they've now got to try and climb their way through the order. And that is always the tricky point of a race in general. It's trying to climb your way through an order, knowing that you're going to have to pit again. Because for Dan Pereira, really, he had an opportunity of getting past Dylan Gonas this round, because they're both on 1, 2, 3. Dylan Gonas and Dan Pereira on 1, 2, 3. Nathan Graham on 1, 3, 1. So it was all open there for Pereira to get some big points today. And unfortunately he hasn't. He's down in 11th place. He scores 5 points. Dylan Gonas in his current position scores 14. So he loses, 9 points to Dylan Gonas currently at the moment. They're not going to get the fastest lap. They'll get a point for completing. So that's 6 and 12 on the 1, 2, 3. So from Gonas' point of position, that puts him on 135, and Pereira on a 129. So he's still going to be trailing him, and that will obviously be for 4th place in the championship. Gonas will go ahead Nathan Graham, so Graham will drop down to 5th, and Pereira will be 2 points behind him back going into the last round at Nordschleife. So there was a lot at stake for Dan Pereira. He had the opportunity, and unfortunately just got caught up in the first lap incident between Ryan O'Connor and James Rep, and got tagged on it, and that's the thing. He ended up with a steering wheel that was practically at 90 degrees trying to get it back to the pits. Managed it, goes in, fast repair, job done, job's a good one, on we go, upwards and upwards, and it's back out on the racetrack. But from Pereira's point of view, it must have been a little bit guttering, because he had an opportunity to gain some big points here that would have put him ahead of Nathan Graham in the championship, which would have allowed him to be up into 3rd place if he'd beaten Dylan Gonas. Now obviously depending on what happens. Obviously, the race is not completely over, don't get me wrong, and we've still got another 30 minutes. But, oh, Boniatti not making the turn of 8 properly there. And now he's under attack. Is Thornhill going to send it up the inside into 10? He thinks better of it. I would think better of it going into 10 as well, to be honest with you. Thomas Boniatti manages to hold on in front of Thornhill. Ben Barnes, sorry. Barnes is currently on a 1:29.89. It's going to be after this lap, I think, that's going to be making a difference for these guys, because obviously, you know, we can see that Boniatti's just been off track and he's just, you know, lost some places. Boniatti has been slower than Barnes, mind you, over the last 4 laps. So from Barnes' point of view, it's positive that he's been quicker than Thomas Boniatti. The problem is for Barnes, it's alright catching in the same car that you're in. Passing the car that you're in is a completely different situation. And catching is one thing, passing is another. Always the statements there for us. Catching is one thing, passing is another. Now Boniatti slower than Rep over the last 4 laps as well. So he's going to have to see how he gets on. 28 minutes. He's a worst pace sandwich with slowly driving by you. He is kind of the jam in the middle of the pieces of bread there, and of course the Bayou's doing the pieces of bread. Don't tell them I've called them a piece of bread, because obviously, you know, probably won't go down so well. As they go through the left and right hander of turn 10 now, through Jackie Ickbock, down into turn 1. And it is Boniatti, Barnes, and there's Thornhill further back. He's got Troy Banks following him for company. So, oh, Boniatti gets out of shape. Tries to go all defensive on Ben Barnes. He got out of shape, and then he had to try and bring it across the track out of turn 1. And he's not loving this circuit currently at the moment. Oh, go on, Ben. Oh, did Ben Barnes have an opportunity there? Oh, Boniatti's off again. Thomas Boniatti settling behind him. Takes a couple of laps. Have a few deep breaths, Thomas. Can't drive like that. It's almost like you can't park there, sir. You know. And Thomas Boniatti's got to just kind of settle down now, because he's been a little bit uptight. He's had a couple of corners that have scared him. Turn 1 just, you know, didn't do him any favours. Turn 3, he was on the gravel. He lost a place to Ben Barnes. He's got to take a couple of laps just to settle down, I think. Settle down, get your head around what's gone on, chill out, and then go again. And I think that's what he's got to do currently here at the moment. Because without taking that lap of chill, he'll constantly keep driving angry. And if you continue to drive frustrated, continue to drive angry, you'll end up not doing yourself any favours. So he's got to take a couple of laps to settle down. Couple of laps to chill out, breathe, follow now Barnes, find out where he's quicker, where he's slower, what the situation is, where can he get him and overtake him, and then go again from Boniatti. He can't be driving in a frustrated state, because it just makes you drive worse, and then you end up putting it off, and then it could be the next time he puts it off, it could be terminal, and might not just get away with a few scrapes on the gravel. You see his tyre tracks there. He takes another one, exactly the same tyre track, which is quite bizarre. But also in front of Boniatti is Ben Barnes, and in front of that is Rep, and Rep's got some damage at the same time. The James Rep has also got damage on the front left of his car. So hopefully now it's on Boniatti to try and get a hold of him and see how he gets on. Of course, Jay Smart took the F1, the W12 Series Championship. We wrapped that up last week by, we think, 2 points, mind you. That was very, very close. That one. So he did finally wrap it up. What was the final total? 195 to Jay Smart, 194 to Elliot Borg. So Elliot Borg was nearly 1 point double champion. That was it, and he had to do, it was like a four task. He had to get pole position, fastest lap, win the sprint race, win the feature race. He got pole position, he got fastest lap, he won the sprint race, but he didn't win the feature race. That was John Silver who took the win in the feature race, and that he lost that championship by that situation. It was almost like 3 out of 4. That's what he got, and he needed 4 out of 4, and he just didn't get it, and lost the W12 championship by 1 point. But on the upside, he has taken the GT3 championship. So Elliot Borg wraps this up before we even get to the Nürburgring, and basically gets to at least walk away as the champion for one series, even though he was very, very close to almost getting 2. Almost. Ryan O'Connor's not, he's got gains into Dylan Gomez now. Oh no, I was in the pits. Question is, did he crash on the way in there? Coming down to the pit lane entry. Oh, he doesn't. Okay. I thought he crashed on the way in there because there was a big red flash on my notifications that he there was a crash from Ryan O'Connor. But O'Connor is into the pits and drops all the way down to 7th place as Troy Branks and Brandon Fornell go past him. What about Joseph Carnes? Is he going to be able to get past him as well? O'Connor on his way out. Joseph Carnes. You can see O'Connor very, very shortly. There he is. Joseph Carnes has gone past him as well. So Ryan O'Connor ended up all the way down in 10th after that pit stop. Very long pit stop, 53-second pit stop here, and has now unfortunately put himself down in 10th place, chasing Joseph Carnes. Troy Banks still managed to get in front of Brandon Fornell now. So I think Troy's now decided that enough is enough. I'm going to go for this. You're right, there is nothing on offer in the championship for either of these guys, so I can go and just start pushing. And I wish he'd pushed that from the start for Troy Banks, because I reckon he could have been a lot further up currently, which is a bit of a shame, but, you know, oh. Okay. What happened there? Just pulls over. I wonder if that's Troy Banks doing the Troy Banks and going into the pits, yeah, and out of the race. Unfortunately for Troy Banks, it's a bit of a shame. Now, if you did miss the F3 earlier on from IGP, you should definitely go and watch that race. There was 50 cars going around the Hungaro ring, and it was absolutely epic. And there was a mechanical failure, should we say, during the race, where somebody's steering wheel, they were out in front by 13.5 seconds, and their steering wheel cut out, and literally it just went straight on. It's on the iRacing, when you're in the cockpit, the steering wheel went left, but literally he just carried on, and unfortunately for him was not able to finish the race, and a bit of a shame, but right, you know, it's the joys of when we're using technology and internet and relying on the game not crashing and everything all happening at the same time, perfectly aligning. It's almost, when you go online or when you broadcast or when you play or when you anything, you're hoping stars align in one direct route, that nothing drastic happens. It's praying to the gaming gods that your game does not crash, or me praying to the internet gods that my internet doesn't go, or my electric doesn't cut out, or something drastic happens, my computer doesn't blue screen. It's all praying to the praying to the broadcasting and racing gods that your system gets through, especially when you're in a racing event like this with 20 minutes left on the clock here. And everybody else has got to pit, so Ryan O'Connor should start shooting up again. 53 seconds at the moment. He's currently 55 back from the leader. Now, as I've learned, that doesn't always work out. I can say he's going to come out 2 seconds behind him, but it'll come out 7 seconds behind him or something because of the way that it works with the cars rolling into the pits. Their pit lane time was obviously 53 seconds. Oh, Ryan O'Connor taking a big old bounce to curb there. And of course it works in mysterious ways, does, going into the pit lane. As we found out, it's 53-second pit lane time, so 53 seconds technically. If we had a look back, gaps from the leader, he should come out round about 2 seconds and should jump all the way up into second place. But the pit lane time tells no lies, and yet they still end up, still doesn't always end up coming out like that. Let's just put it this way. If he can get near Dylan Gonaz, it was about 1.2 seconds back from Gonaz when he went into the pits. If he can get a little bit, if he can get close to him, then he's had a good pit stop. So, you know, let's see how he gets on here as he's gone past Joseph Carnes, got past him. So we're going to have a quick look back and see how that one happened. Joseph there with a slowdown off the chicane, and Ryan O'Connor got through. And that is how Mr. O'Connor continued his charge forward. Elliot Borg is in the pits. O'Connor is just going round turn 5 now. So when we talk about the time, Borg goes in, Gonaz is in. So technically for O'Connor, if we're going by the 53 seconds that he had, he should technically come out 2 seconds back from these guys, right? That's the way the pit stops work. Time at 55 seconds, should come out 2 seconds back. At the moment, he's coming round turn 8 and go out to the chopper because O'Connor will be coming through very, very shortly. There is O'Connor coming round turn 8, wiggling his way through. Borg is still in the pits, Gonaz still in the pits, and O'Connor is coming now into the final chicane of turn 10. Jackie Hitbock. Borg's on his way out. Gonaz is still stationary. He's now moving. O'Connor's coming down into turn 1. Gonaz is still coming round. O'Connor's still on his way. There's Dylan Gonaz there. They're going to be coming out side by side. Is O'Connor going to be able to sweep round the outside? That's the situation. He isn't. Not sure if he got held up a little bit by Gonaz there. But Dylan Gonaz comes out right in front of him, and Elliot Borg 7 seconds down the road. So there we go. And Elliot Borg had the same pit lane time, near enough of a 55.63. So O'Connor gained 2 seconds there, but also gained on the pit lane time, and he's still 7 seconds back. And he was 6, I think it was about 6 or 7 seconds when he went in. So this is why the wonderful world of the pit lane times here kind of don't make a little bit of sense, because obviously we knew it was going to be close between him and Gonaz, but we predicted 2 seconds between him and Ryan O'Connor, and it just didn't work out like that. It's a funny old game, the old pit lane times here, within the timing software we use. Ben Barnes and Thomas Boniani are in the pit lane. They're not stopped yet. But these two should clear them, so technically this should be the battle for second and third going into the final 15 minutes of the race. As you are, thanks so much. If you are here, say hi, let us know that you're in chat. We will have a conversation. Dylan Gonaz going around turn 1 in the Lamborghini, Ryan O'Connor in the Mercedes. The Mercedes highly recognisable, and the Lamborghini's not short of being noticeable either. That bright yellow Smart Gonaz Borg racing over the LMA Motorsport. Of course, Smart Gonaz Borg did take the team championship, have wrapped that up, and Elliot Borg has got the championship as well. So for Elliot Borg, he's done the double basically. Coming up through turn 5. This is one of the closest battle on track at the moment. Ooh, steady. There is a slowdown there. Joseph Carnes did find that one out. We go into the cockpit of Ryan O'Connor. Over the curbs, both sides. Now on the gas, he's got to can't get it on. The question is did he have an opportunity when Gomez come out of the pits and could have swept around the outside? And if he did have that opportunity, why didn't he take that opportunity? Because he could have swept around the outside, I think, of Dylan Gomez. But it just looks like Gomez comes out and puts his car kind of in front of him. We're going to have a look back at the pits. So there's Dylan there. If we stay up in the air on the chopper, we'll see Ryan O'Connor coming around on the left-hand side very shortly. Here comes O'Connor at the base of your picture. Did O'Connor have the opportunity to sweep round? He's already in. He hit the brakes to try and stop hitting Dylan. In the meantime, putting himself back further away from him, which unfortunately now has dropped him 7 or 8 tenths back at the moment. It was kind of on the line to take the corner, and I don't know if he expected Gomez to be a little bit more out in front of where he should have been, allowing him to take the corner. But from Gomez's point of view, he's just come out the pits, mind you. He's on directly on the line. Dan Pereira is in for his second stop. That was predicted, because obviously he stopped on lap 1 after being caught up in the incident. Another man that stopped early was Joseph Carnes, so we're expecting Carnes is going to have to come in from that 4th place, because he stopped down on lap 3. And unfortunately for him, obviously he got caught up himself in a little bit of a ta-ta-ta, should we say. So it's all going to be tough going here. And they're going to have to keep going. They're going to have to keep going, plugging away. Dan Pereira, 3 tenths back from Brandon Thornhill. So Dan Pereira 3 tenths back from Thornhill, trying to close in. Pereira needs as many points as he possibly can here. The less points he loses to Jonas, the less probably the less points he's got to try and get over him at the Nürburgring combined next week. So from his point of view, he's got to try and go again and try and get as many points as possible. He's got to get Brandon Thornhill. Ryan O'Connor and Dylan Gomez are going once more. And it's now O'Connor tucked up right behind him. See if that Mercedes can get past that Lamborghini. Gomez is no slouch, mind you. 1:29.38 is his best time. Last time 1:29.38. O'Connor on a 1:29.41. Joseph Carnes is in the pits as predicted. As I say, come in early due to his incident he did have. But now it's whether or not O'Connor's going to stay there. It's a tough one, because generally you either go again and try and get the position away from Gomez. Now, from Pereira's point of view, Pereira is sat in the car wishing Ryan O'Connor probably would, because at the end of the day he needs to get the gap. You know, he needs to get as many positions from Gomez. Like, Gomez needs to lose that position to O'Connor for the points purposes, because otherwise he's going to have more to do next week, and he doesn't want more to do. You know, he wants less to do, and you know, he just needs to try and get as many positions back over him. And then that way he hasn't got to do such a big job going into the Nürburgring in next week at the Nürburgring combined. And he's got to try and, Pereira's got to try and get past him, and he's just wishing Connor would do him a big old favour there. Coming up through into the chicane now, round the 7, double right-hander of turn 7. Down into 8 we go. Pereira from the Black Gold Racing. Has now got another slowly driving by, he's closing up behind him. Unfortunately for Pereira, he's now got Ben Barnes slowly coming up behind him as well. He's got to try and clear Brandon Thornhill and trying to make it, he's got to try and make him past it. He just needs as much as possible. I've got a funny feeling O'Connor's dropped back. Oh, Ben Barnes has gone round. Barnes in turn 2. Can he prevent it going in? He can, and he's jumped straight back to the pits. Ben Barnes then not a happy chappy in that car. And he's gone straight back to the pits on lap 24. So clearly, for tonight, he's like, no, no more. With 8 minutes remaining as well, unfortunately for him. Pereira he's trying to wrestle with that car, but you almost want to make him just kind of dive in there. Thornhill is definitely becoming a little thorn in the side, should we say, for Brandon Thornhill, for Daniel Pereira. Different line going through 8. Going through 9, sweeping left and right of 9, coming down into turn 10, under the bridge they go. Left hander for 10. Oh, he's got to get in earlier than that. Right hander there, through now. Here we go, he's going to try and get the exit out. Dan Pereira is going to get the run down into turn 1. We're on board in the cockpit, tucked up right behind him, going down into turn 1 we go on the brakes. And nope, we are not close enough to Brandon Thornhill this time. We do get a better exit out of turn 1 as we go into turn 2. Right-hander, sweeping right-hander, right again. Oh, that Ferrari there. So quick into 4. Out the other side, take a little bit of curve on the left-hand side, coming up on that run into 5 now. On the brakes at the 100. Left, right. Got the exit, we're right up, tucked up right behind Brandon Thornhill now. We're going to look at running down the left-hand side of the circuit. Over the hump we go. We're going to have the outside for the chicane. Pereira's through. Pereira is through. Done him on the entrance to the chicane. And he is through, and he's now up into 8th place, Dan Pereira. So if it stays as it is at the moment, going as his steel on his 14. Pereira down in 8th, he's on 8 now. So he's on 8 points. Going to get 1 for finishing the race and 9 points. So Pereira will be on 1-3-2. Going as is in 2nd. And will be 14, 1 for finishing 15. So he'll be on 1-3-8, so there'll be 6 points difference going into the Nürburgring with Dan Pereira. So Dan Pereira has managed to get some points back. And And it's onwards and upwards to Joseph Guns. O'Connor keeps getting close to Gonaz and then dropping back out 1.8 seconds. Coming back in again and out again and in again. He's been like a yo-yo, as Ryan O'Connor. I wonder if he's getting slowdowns there. Wonder if Ryan O'Connor's getting slowdowns. So let's go Pereira and Gonaz. Says Pedro Meinberg Jr. Pereira is down in 8th. Gonaz is in 2nd, staying ahead of Ryan O'Connor here. Oh, Gonaz is blinking. Okay. Pereira is going to be 6 points back from my calculation going into the Nürburgring from Dylan Pereira, from Dylan Gonaz. Me mixing up the children. Doing a Michael there. So, Michael, of course, Michael David's not here this evening. Missing his favourite circuit. Missing his favourite circuit currently. There's Michael. And not one that he wanted to miss, mind you. But it is, unfortunately, what it is. Circumstances it could not help. And, yeah. Sure he'll be back next week, even stronger. And will be able to join us for the final round at the Nürburgring combined. So we've got the Nords and the stadium section. Last 2.5 minutes here. Elliot Borg will have one and one more. Elliot Borg's just been another dominant performance, really, and has led basically from green to checkered. Cements the championship. So close in the W12, lost by 1 point to Jay Smart, but he is going to wrap up the GT3 championship here. Elliot Borg wraps up the GT3 championship, done and dusted, coming down for the final time into turn 8. Sweeping through the left right of 9. It's going to have one final lap. Final lap. Katana Gaming, the yellow fever is on. Let's do Dan Pereira. Let's go BGR. Black Gold Racing. Dan is currently setting 8th place, final lap of the race. We can have a look at Dan for you. He did unfortunately get caught up in an incident at the beginning of the race which offset his steering. So he had to go in and get his fast repair done. But unfortunately, while getting the fast repair, it dropped him all the way. And now he's going to get a slowdown. I don't entirely think that iRacing is going to allow that one. And if it does, I'd be very surprised. As he just shows you an amazing jump, how to jump the curb there at turn 5 at the Clone Chicane for Dan Pereira from the Black Gold Racing team, the man from Brazil, mixed amongst all these Americans and a Canadian in Gonaz. O'Connor didn't really make the gain on Gonaz that I thought he was going to make. That's the thing. I thought Gonaz was going to, O'Connor was going to make more of an inroad into Dylan, but he didn't quite do that then. Yeah, maybe not the best shot. Certainly is the best jumper is Dan Pereira, but Elliot Paul coming round now to take the checkered flag. Through the left-right for the final time. 8 seconds in front. Absolute dominant victory from Borg. Cracking race there. Led from start to finish. Gonaz comes across the line in second. O'Connor in third. And then Sean Atkins should come along in fourth place. There he goes, weaving side to side is Sean Atkins. James Rep gets the job done. Just waiting for Tamas Boniadi. There is Tamas. Coming through turns 10. He goes over the line as well. Excellent run from Tamas. Joseph Carnes from JBJ. And then the flying Brazilian, Dan Pereira, in that Ferrari. Car number 34, coming over the line now. Dan Pereira on the recovery, of course, and then the last man across the track is your boy, Brandon Fornell. So Brandon Fornell is the last man over the line, and we can bring you up the results. The flying Brazilian is perfect, isn't it? Elliot Borg in first place there, Dylan Gonaz second, Ryan O'Connor third, Sean Atkins fourth, James Rep fifth, Thomas Boniadi in sixth, Joseph Carnes seventh, Dan Pereira eighth, Brandon Fornell ninth, Ben Barnes 10th, and Troy Banks is in 11th place. Brandon Murray comes across the line in 12th there, so a stellar job from all of these guys down on the grid. There they are, sat there looking menacing in their wonderful liveries. Absolutely stellar job from them guys. And now we'll look and see who we've got waiting patiently in the interview booth. We have got Dylan Gonaz, who finished in second place. Dylan, welcome in. How are you, sir? Not bad, mate. Not bad. Just watched a very interesting race. Well, there's some exciting stuff going on in my OBS at the moment, mate, because it's not picking you up, which is a little bit frustrating.
I got a new mic, and it's really quiet, I was told.
Yeah, no, it seems okay now. It seems to be working now. I know you can't hear Dylan. I've got him sorted. Yeah, no, there was some interesting things going on behind. There was a little bit of an incident and that at the beginning. O'Connor got caught up. He got tagged by Rep and put him down the order now as well. From your point of view, you had to finish ahead of Dan Pereira, partly because of where you are in the championship standings. You're quite close together in points here, which would potentially mean going into Nürburgring, you could go in third. You are going to go in on third place.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I was wondering. Me and Daniel have been battling close all season, so it was gonna be fun. I thought Carnes was close too as well, but I'd have to look at the standings. But when I knew I started ahead of both them guys, I was like, just gotta have a clean race and stay in front of them two guys, and we'll be sitting pretty in the standings. So I'm happy. Well,
Joseph at the moment was ahead of you by 9 points. Now, he is finished in 7th, which means he takes 9, plus the 1 for finishing the race is 10. So that puts him on 142. You're going into the Nürburgring on 138, and Dan Pereira's going in on 132, 1 point ahead of Nathan Graham.
Oh.
And I
Yeah,
worked all
well,
that out while I was commentating on your race as well.
Oh, perfect.
I know.
Yeah, no, it's a shame what happened to Ryan. He had the pace. He was definitely in my mirrors there, that's for sure. So when I came out of the pits, I don't know if you caught when I came out of the pits, I was like 0.4 ahead of him coming out of the pit. So
We did.
It's a pretty tight battle.
Yeah, we caught that all the way down, literally up until the point where he had to brake behind you. Partly because partly because of the thing, if he didn't brake behind you, he was going to come into you.
That's right.
So, from Ryan O'Connor's point of view, he did a fair job of braking and not actually hitting you there as well. But Dylan, going forward, do you like the Nürburgring combined circuit?
I do. I made the mistake of showing Elliot how to get around the place, though. So.
Oh no.
I imagine since I've showed him around that place, he's been practicing. He's probably 4 seconds quicker a lap than me, but I kind of shot myself in the foot there. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I hope there's a good turnout because, like I said, it's not a track everyone knows and stuff. So I don't know. It'll be nice. Carnes and Pereira, they'll be there, so it'll be nice to end the season with maybe a battle for P2.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Dylan, thanks so much for joining us there, bud. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Perfect. Cheers.
Take care, bud. All right, let's have a quick chat with Mr. Ryan O'Connor, the man who finished 3rd this evening. Got himself caught up in an incident not under his own purpose, mind you. James Rep may have had something to do with it as it spins round and ends up back on the back of the grid there. But I do want to ask you a question. You got down within 0.4 of Dylan. Did you get a slowdown by any chance?
No slowdown. My tires were just shot, having to work my way back through the field. The track was a little warm, and these corners, they just never end. So tires were just in pretty rough shape. I started getting to a point where I'm like, I'm going to put the car in the wall if I try to keep up with Dylan. Dylan had some serious pace tonight, too. So, yeah, that was pretty much it on that end.
I was saying how much of a favour you would have done Dan Pereira by getting past Dylan there, just taking a little point off him. It's going to be interesting between them three going into the final round in Nords. No.
Yeah, I hate to be the spoiler, but in the same respect, I don't mind either.
Yeah, no, I thought you were going to go and get him. So how? Okay, 1 week to go. Not, for you purposely, there's nothing at stake in Nords. What's the plan for you? Are you going to be just going for it? Are you going to take the night off, put your feet up, get your slippers and blanket over your knees? What's the situation for yourself?
No, I'm having a blast, and even though points don't count for me, I'm out of any sort of contention for this season. Hey, I like driving the car, and Nords is a great track, so of course I'm going to be out there. I'm going to try to win it. I don't know what the other guy's pace looks like or anything like that, but if it's anything like I think it is, it's going to be a pretty tough battle.
Yeah, I think it definitely will be. Dylan did say he made the mistake of showing Elliot how to get round there quickly.
Yeah. Once Elliot knows how to get around there quickly, he just does it quicker than the rest of us. So.
Yeah, but you did show him a thing or two in Sebring, not pointing it out or nothing.
Yeah, it's okay. I really think that we should set our sights next, to next season. And Elliot's got this in the bag. He's driven awesome all season long, and we'll focus our battle for next season. I'll be a little bit less nice to him, about letting him go and whatever the case may be, and not racing him as hard. So
yeah, definitely. Well, cheers for joining in there, Ryan. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, sure. Tonight, Elliot and Dylan for sure. They were flying. They were right on my pace. I really think the only reason why I caught Dylan, up to 4/10 is he just made the non-Dylan-like error, a couple times. The guy doesn't make errors. He's insanely consistent. So they were fast. It was fun trying to chase them down. I wish that I didn't catch that spin at the beginning of the race. I think the race would have been a lot more interesting. But yeah, shout out to those guys for always driving really well.
Awesome stuff. Well, man, thanks so much for joining us, Bud, and look forward to seeing what you can do next week.
All right, take care, James.
Take care, man. Right, let's have a chat with your winner here this evening. The man who's wrapped up the championship. He doesn't even have to turn up in Germany. He can just sit at home, blanket over his knees, fluffy slippers on his feet, and sitting there with his glass of sherry. Welcome into the booth, Elliot Borg. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. Where's the fun in that? It's time to go to green hell.
I don't know, mate. I just made you sound like you were a 60-year-old man as well, so never mind.
That's true. I mean, I'll take a glass of sherry. I mean, a glass of whiskey would be nicer, but, whatever you're offering, I'll accept.
Yeah, I'll send it over an airmail.
Right. It might get stopped in customs. Who knows?
Yeah, so I don't even know if it's going to get there, mate. It might smash the glass and it might be running out by the time you might just end up with a blank envelope. Who knows?
Right. Just a wet envelope.
Yeah, I mean, literally never get it. Oh dear, you can tell it's early morning for me. Right, buddy, you've wrapped up the championship. Collectively you've won the double because the boys at Smargonos Borg took the team championships. You've took the solo. Jay took the W12. Not a bad season all in all for you guys. Where are we going to be at next season? What's the situation for you within the series? Are we going to see you in the W12? Because it looks like that's where we're heading. And are we going to see you back in the Lambo?
So I'll definitely be back in the GT3. W12, I think I'm going to steward. We're going to try some different things to hopefully clean it up a little bit. We don't have another Interlagos turn 1, make guys a little more conscious, maybe buy some guys some F1 TV so they can see how slow they actually do go into turn 1 coming off the grid.
Yeah. That would be helpful.
Yeah. So I think we voted to have some stewards in the F1 side, but definitely looking forward to the GT3 League next season. I know it's going to be much more competitive. Ryan... I'm looking forward to racing with Ryan. So I was real bummed that I just watched his incident. Real bummed that he got taken out in turn 2. Was really looking forward to doing some battling. Really managed to get off the line at the right time. I saw him coming, and I was really hoping that the lights weren't going to go green because he was definitely going to get me. But definitely looking forward to battling him a bunch next season because I have a feeling that there's some other guys that used to race with us that are looking at coming over. So really hoping to take it to the last race before a champ is decided.
Yeah, I'm a little bit, downhearted on the W12. The fact that I'm only going to see the W12 and not the BMW and the McLaren, then we could have had a free manufactured championship.
It would have been great. However, we did a test at Red Bull Ring. So I was in the W12, John Silva was in the W13, Dylan in the BMW, and Anthony in the McLaren. And I ran a 104 to John Silva's 106 in the W13 to their 110s in the older cars. So while it would work, would it be fair? Probably not, because iRacing will only let you take 5% of the power out of the car. So because we were originally thinking at running the others at running the W12 at 80. So because it is just wicked fast through the corners, that thing, when they say you can run it upside down, if it's going fast enough, it will.
Yeah.
And I was just swallowing those guys through the corner. So even not just taking it easy. So I don't think it would provide the racing that you wanna call, unless it's guys getting blown by. So, unfortunate, but I think we've got a good car that most people can hang on to, come to grips with more now that I think we're in the 3rd or 4th season of it, and hopefully get some more competitive racing. Yeah,
I know, but you would have been the only series in iRacing if you managed to sort that out.
Right. Well, if iRacing would let us turn the power down, so that way you know, the W12 wasn't equally as fast in a straight line, but, you know, a second faster per corner, it might work. But I think it's a limitation in iRacing that won't allow us to do it. So no knock on iRacing.
Where was the BMW and McLaren?
So they were about 6 seconds slower a lap.
Oh, it would have been like a Red Bull versus a Haas.
Correct. Hey, you can... Or an Alpine. It doesn't always have to be the American team that sucks.
Well, I know, but it was the first one I thought of because they're always at the back. Well, saying that, they did pretty well today at Azerbaijan, but generally they're at the back, isn't they? So it was I got to pick the Williams, to be fair. It wouldn't have mattered which one I picked. It was somebody, and that was the first one that come to my mind. Unfortunately, it happens to be the American team, but never mind. Onwards and upwards, you know.
No biggie.
No biggie.
It's true. It hurts me a little bit, even as a McLaren fan.
I know you can't really call it an American team, considering it's probably copied most of the grid's parts anyway. It's a multinational team, I think, to be honest.
Well, yeah, I would say they all are.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I'm sure we could sit here all day and talk, but I will have to let you go at some point. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before I do?
Yeah, big shout out to my teammates Dylan and Jay. Sorry, Jay can't be here, but big shout out to him. Quick recovery. Looking forward to Green Hell with you guys, and an hour and 15 minutes of qualifying, so that way everybody can get a lap. So practice and qualifying will all be qualifying, and then we'll do a 45-minute sprint.
Okay, well, I don't know if I'll come in for the whole hour and 15 minutes there, sir.
I don't blame you.
No.
So I'm sure there will be lots of smoke and dust and grass and all that stuff.
It'll be one expensive part slot of the Green Hell there, with Ferraris going everywhere and so forth. I'm sure some people will struggle and some people will love it. But look, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be amazing. Elliot, thanks so much for joining me there, bud. And look forward to hopefully having a chat with you next week.
Thanks for sticking with us. Always look forward to watching it. Have a good one, man.
And you, man. Take care.
Thanks.
Well, there we go, guys. Another evening of racing here from the LSRL GT3 from Circuit Zolder. As we've just heard, we will be in the W12 next season for the, W12 series. Unfortunately, couldn't quite balance out the three manufacturers that we were hoping we were going to be able to do. So overall, it should be an interesting one. But Jay, there, thank you so much for joining us. Kitano Gaming, Pedro Meinberg Jr., much love for jumping in as well. And anybody else, Amuri Pavotto, thank you so much there as well, as we go in now with not a lot of gap between the final three here. I can tell you that much. Elliot Borg has wrapped the championship up. Second, third, fourth and fifth is still up for grabs, and there is literally 6 points between them. So that round at Nords is going to be very, very important for Dylan Gonaz, Dan Pereira, Nathan Graham and Joseph Carnes. So sit back, guys, relax, chill out and look forward to next week. I'm off to bed. So as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.